Today I'll be giving you the basic geometrical ideas, and it is taken from class 6 of syllabus, but it's not like that only class 6 will be helpful. Class 6, 7, all the lower section and even higher section students will also be benefited. Those have forgot their basic of the geometrical figures. So today I will give you the basic of the geometrical figures, on which base the whole geometry is dependent. So first of all, I'll give you step by step. I'll say plan. Plan. Now, plan has got two types. One is flat and other is curve. So, one is a flat surface, other is a curved surface. The first flat surface, the top of a book, the top of the board, the floor, the flat floor, the top of the geometry box, many more things. For curved surface, we get like ball, orange, the odd. They are all in the category of the curved surface. Now it will be discussed later on. Now we will discuss about the flat surface. On the flat surface, we can draw lines, that is straight lines. And how the straight lines are? If on both the direction, the direction it can be extended, then it is called a line, straight line. So straight line always extend on both the ends. So from straight line, if I cut a portion, say here it is C, so we can say straight line A, B, and put a line and put two arrows on both the end, then it will be a straight line, or we can simply say a line. Clear? From a line, if I cut a portion, then it will be called line segment. Line segment. Suppose we have taken AC. Now in this case, we won't put arrow mark because it is already taken out, cut out from the whole line. So it cannot be extended with both the direction, neither even in one direction also. So it can simply be mentioned as AC. Here is one. If I want, we can take many, CB or BC. So these are the two portions we have taken. So they are called line segments. Now what about a ray? If a line start from an end point and extend to one direction, if it is extended to one direction, say on the right hand side or left hand side, if it is A and there is B, then if it extends on one direction, then it is called a ray. So ray may be defined by like that. If I would say here A and there is B, or instead of AB, if I would take here C and D, then how would you name them? AB, we cannot say BA. We have to start from the end point to the infinite direction. So we have to say AB, arrow mark, because arrow mark is at the point B. B is extended, so over B we will put the arrow mark. Now about C, what shall I write? I can't say DC because the ray has started from C and it is extended to D direction. So this way. Same I can mention as just we need to show the arrow mark towards the D. So towards D it is shown. So we can say CD this way also and this way also. So these are the part of a line. If two lines have one common point, this line and this line, A, B, always to be mentioned 2 points over there, and C and D. Suppose they have got a common point, say it is O, then the lines are called intersecting lines. These two lines are intersecting because they have a common point of intersection. Here is a line. If another line is drawn just by taking the same distance at every point of the other line, then both the lines are called parallel lines. They are parallel lines because this distance and their distance, its distance, both are, all the distances between both the lines are equal. So they too are called parallel lines. If I draw in this way, can you give some example of that? Yes, the two edges of the board, opposite edges of the board, these two are parallel. These two are parallel. Opposite edges of a book, they two are parallel. And the most important is that one, the railway track is always parallel. If two lines come this way, then obviously somewhere after extending both the lines, they will meet at a point. So why it happens? Because they don't have the same distance in between the two lines. So they obviously will meet at a point. So those lines are not called parallel lines. Say a few lines, one line is like that. And if you are asked to get, say here A, B and this is P. If you are asked to find the line segment, then obviously how many line segments you will get? OA, OA, OB and OP. Okay. Anyways, here suppose this way, A, B, C, D, P, Q, these are the points A and this is C, here is B and there is D. So how to get the line segments? So if I would, there are arrows. If I need to find the line segments, then you cannot take the arrowed point. This way, if you take AP, then there is given an arrow sign, so it will not be considered as a line segment. We have to take interiors like AC, then AB, then BD, then DC. These are the 4 line segments. If you need to find rays, then A to P. This direction you have the arrow. So AP is a ray, BR is a ray, DS is a ray, and CQ is another ray. So this way we can find the line segments and rays. Now, angles. Angles. How will angles form? If from a fixed point two rays goes in different direction, then they form an angle. Say it is O, this point, fixed point is O, here is A, OA is one ray, say OB is another ray, both have come out from the fixed point, same fixed point O, then they form an angle. This portion is called angle. Now, how to name this? If I would say like OAB, OAB or OBA or AOB or BOA, which one is correct? Here I have said OAB, OAB. From O to A we have come, from OA to B we can't go because there is no ray. So that means this is not an angle. So how do we name the angle is where from the rays comes out, that point must be in between the other 2 points. From this point the rays have come out, therefore this point must be in between the other 2. So here also OA is not in between, but in both the cases O comes in between the other 2 points. So we can name as AOB or BOA, but generally this is the correct one because while naming them we need to write alphabetically in between A and B, A comes first, so A I have written first, then comes B. So what you have understood is that both are correct, but this is a proper one. So we have understood that when from the rays comes out, that point must be in between the other 2 points. That means this must be enclosed by the other 2 lines. So while naming here, how can you say this angle? Suppose how to name this angle? This angle is formed at point A. Therefore we will say BAC. This A must comes in between. BAC. Here is an angle. To name this angle C must comes in between A and B. So ACB. ACB. BAC. I'll say B for naming this. Now B must comes in between A and C. Therefore ABC. ABC. This angle can also be named by writing C here and B there. Means this 2 we can alter. Like for naming this, we can name it by BAC or CAB. Just here I have told which one is correct among these 2. Both are correct, but this is the proper one because we have and both are correct. So ACB can also be named by BCA and ABC can also be named as this. So from this, up to this we have got about angle. Here also in a figure we can name by angle. And then if any point is asked whether interior or exterior, so suppose it is P, Q, R, S, T. These points are inside the triangle, inside the figure, so they are called interior angles. These other 2 points are outside the triangle, so they are called exterior point. Interior points and exterior point. Likewise, in case of rays also, if there comes many rays, A, B, C, D. Here I have named P, Q, R, S, R, L. Now if here we need to find some of the interior points, so these are the particular interior points, but P and Q are lying in between OA and OB. So the P and Q points lie in interior to the angle AOB. R points lying in between in the interior of the angle BOC, and S is lying in the interior of angle COD. But this S point is also lying in between the whole angle also AOD. So R is also lying in the whole interior in the of the whole angle AOD. So likewise we can go on finding the points those are lying in the interior of the figure. Now about curve. It is also a curve. This is also a curve. There is also a curve. But each of them have a different name. It is called open curve. It's a closed curve. And this is also closed, but both are simple, so it is called simple open curve, and this is called simple closed curve. But it is not a simple because it has crossed at a point. Okay. Now I'll say polygon. What is a polygon mean? It is also a curve. It is also a closed figure made by curve, but this curve is straight lines, means line segments. So polygon is a figure made by some straight lines, straight line segments. So anyways, this is a polygon because it is a closed figure made by some line segments, straight line segments. But it has got many different types. Like if it has 3 sides, then it's called triangle. It's a triangle. Then if it has got 4 sides, quadrilateral. Quadrilateral has got many patterns like square is of this shape, then rhombus, this shape, then parallelogram. It's a parallelogram. It's of this shape, then rectangle, and it's a trapezium. So why it is called a triangle? Because it has got 3 sides. Quadrilateral, it has got 4 sides. And the quadrilateral, these are the pattern of the quadrilaterals. specific names are given for the different shapes. Now, if a figure has got 5 sides, but the regular means all 5 sides must be equal. 5 sides, then it is called pentagon. So pentagon has got 5 sides. Hexagon, 6 sides. Hexagon, 6 sides. Heptagon, heptagon. Heptagon, 7 sides. Octagon, here will be octagon. 8 sides. Nonagon has 9 sides. And lastly, decagon has got 10 sides. So these are the particular names given to the different polygons. These are all polygons, but particularly for a quadrilateral, if the all 4 sides and the right angles are 90 degrees, we call it as a square. If all 4 sides are equal, then we call it as a rhombus, but rhombus is similar to the parallelogram, but here all 4 sides are equal, but in parallelogram only the 2 opposite sides are equal and parallel. Rectangle and square has got some similarities also. Each of the angles 90 degree, each of the angles 90 degree, but here in a square all 4 sides are equal, here the opposite sides are equal. Trapezium has got 2 parallel sides and other 2 may be parallel, not non-parallel also. Actually they are non-parallel but may be equal. So trapezium is a figure which have 2 parallel sides. So these are the patterns of the polygon. Quadrilateral, just now I have told you quadrilateral has got many shapes, different shapes. In general, quadrilaterals are of 2 types. One is convex, other is concave. Now what are called convex and what are called concave? The all general figures I have shown you just beforehand only, those are all convex because each of the angle is less than 90 degree. Each angle is less than, sorry, not 90, 180 degree. If each of the angle of a quadrilateral is less than 180 degree, then it is called a convex quadrilateral. For a concave, I can draw this way. These 3 are less than, each of the measurement of the 3 angles less than 90 degree, but this angle is more than 180 degree. So it is called concave quadrilateral. Now in a quadrilateral, anyways, A, B, C, D, we can name in this way or that way, but not as A, B, C, D. You get a cyclic order like this way or that way. So if I join 2 opposite points, then it is called a diagonal. Diagonal. These 2 are opposite angles. These 2 are opposite angles. So angle, opposite angles, what, how we can say? Angle A angle C are opposite, and angle D and B are opposite. Angle D and angle B are opposite. Opposite angles. But the points are called vertex. A, B, C, D. Single point is called vertex. It is vertex. But as a whole, many points, if you take, then vertices. This whole we call vertices. It's a plural form of vertex. So these are opposite angles, like opposite sides. These two are opposite. These two are opposite sides. Now we will see the adjacent angles. Adjacent means just near to the other angle. Angle A and B just near to each other, so they two are adjacent angles. But A and C are not near to each other. For getting C, we need to cross B, then we will get C. So in between A and C there is a B, and if we come this way, then there comes D. So A and C are not adjacent angles, they are opposite angles. But A and B are adjacent angles, B and C are adjacent angles, C, D adjacent, D, A adjacent. So like the adjacent angles, we have got adjacent sides also. AB and BC adjacent sides, just near to each other they are, and they have got a single common point. CD and AB, AD adjacent sides, AB, AD and AB adjacent sides, and so on. Lastly, I am showing you circle. Circle. Now what circle means? It is a closed figure, the distance of which boundaries are at the same the distance of each of the points on the boundary are equal from a fixed point. That is called a circle. So that fixed point is called center. It is called center. And this boundary is called, it's a parameter, means this parameter for the circle we call circumference. It's called ference. So now it's a R. What is an R? If it is a circle, then if we cut a portion from the circle, then it is called R. So we name as A, B, and like a straight line. How we name this line segment? Here we will name AB, and there you have to draw an R. Suppose there is another point C. How to name this AC? For naming AC, we will say the B point also, A, B, C. So A, B, C, arc means this one. Now sector. Segment. For getting segment, we need chord. So chord is what? Any two points if you join, then it will be called chord. CH. Chord. So for chord, we get two parts. One is a smaller, other is a bigger. The smaller part is called minor segment. By the chord we get segment. So it is called minor segment, and this part is called major segment. So chord is a line drawn in the circle which touches the circumference of the circle at 2 points. Now sector. What is called a sector? For getting sector, if we draw two radius, means radius is singular form, and radii is a plural form of radius. So if we draw two radii from the same center, then we get two portions enclosed by the curve and the two radius. This portion or that portion is called sector. So as usual, like minor and major segment, here also we will get minor sector. This part is minor sector and the other part is major sector. Major sector. So for getting sector, we need to draw two radii in the circle. So the part region enclosed by the curve and the radii means the sector. This was named as circumference. Circumference means it is the boundary of the circle. So the parameter of the circle is called circumference. The center, it is the center, and anywhere else we can draw many chords. But my thing is what I'm going to ask you one thing: is the diameter is also a chord? Yes, obviously it is also a chord, but this is the longest chord. Diameter is the longest chord of a circle. And what is the relation between the diameter and the radius? Diameter is a 2 times of radius. So diameter can be written as 2 times of radius. So using this formula, you can get any answer. Like if you find radius, then it will be diameter by 2. So you may get the form this one or that one. If the diameter is given 12, then what is the radius? Radius is diameter by 2. That means 12 by 2. So it is 6 centimeter. If you are having radius equal to 4 centimeter, then what is the diameter? 2 times of radius. 2 into 4, that is 8 centimeter. So using this formula, we can get the relation. If radius is given, we can get diameter. If diameter is given, we can get this. I want to conclude my today's chapter using this concept. You can solve many more things. It will help from class lower to higher section. And I'll be back again with a new chapter. Till then, bye bye.